One pot meals are already pretty amazing. Easy to cook, easy to clean up. But the dish that we're sharing with you today is all out wonderful because its flavor profile is rich and complex. And if you've never made curry anything before, do not be scared off from trying this. It's really not that hard. Here's what you'll need to cook this meal: a pot, spoon, cutting board, can opener, a chef knife, and a paring knife. So, see, not that much. In terms of ingredients, you'll need several items, all shown here. Now we're showing you 2 cans of chickpeas, but we actually use 3 in this recipe. You'll also need a can of coconut milk, a can of Thai red curry paste, that's a 4-ounce can, a head of garlic, a hand of ginger, and some olive oil. The head of garlic and the hand of ginger should be about the same proportion. If you want to make this a vegan dish, you can take out the fish sauce and use either plain salt or liquid aminos. Also, be sure to get a downloadable copy of our recipe at our flashy new website, ourfinalfreezer.com. To get started, you need to cut your garlic and your ginger. So BG is starting with garlic. To break the garlic apart, tip the head of the garlic at an angle and bear down with your shoulders and arms locked, like he's showing you here. Then, for each piece of garlic, you need to peel the outside layer. So start by taking the edge of your knife and putting it on top of a piece, and then giving it a light smack. Then cut the end off. This will help release that fine outside layer, making it easier to peel. Once you have all the pieces of garlic peeled, you need to dice them. So you can see that BG is chopping these pieces until they get pretty small, and then he moves on to the advanced rock chop method. It's hot, I know. But if this isn't for you, you can also use a hand blender like this one that we used for blending apples. Hand blenders work very well for this if you want to avoid all that dicing. Then it's time for the ginger. So cutting ginger is kind of interesting. So this is a pretty big piece of ginger, so we're not going to use the whole thing, which is why BG is cutting the ginger into more manageable pieces. We're only going to peel enough ginger to equal the amount of garlic that we just peeled, so we can keep our flavors balanced. So you can see that the idea here is to use your paring knife to remove just the outer layer of ginger. After you've peeled all the pieces, take some time to thinly slice each piece. Once you've done all that, it's time to rock chop again. Okay, now it's time for the stove. Put your pot on the stove and add enough oil to your pot to coat the bottom. Turn the burner to high. When your oil is hot enough, you'll start to see it ripple in the pan when you shake it a little, like you see here. Add your ginger, garlic, and a 1/4 can of curry paste. Stir all of that together and let it saute for several minutes until it looks like this. Then add your 3 cans of chickpeas. The next thing is to open your can of coconut milk, but before you open it, make sure that you shake it really well because it separates out. You don't want to just add some thin coconut water. Add about 1/2 of the can to the pot, or enough to cover the chickpeas about halfway. After that, bring your ingredients to a boil. Now it's time for the fish sauce. So you're going to add about 3 shakes of fish sauce onto the chickpeas. It has kind of a special top that keeps it from coming out all at once. And yeah, it smells. Fish sauce smells big time, but I promise that smell goes away when you cook it. So the purpose of the fish sauce is to add salt to your dish and give it that wonderful umami flavor that just blows you away. Stir all your ingredients together and then put the lid on to simmer. We recommend low or low medium depending on your stove. Let all that simmer for 20 minutes. So at about 10 minutes into simmering, we noticed that our heat was too high. So you can see that there's too much steam coming from under the lid. So we turned down the heat a little more and then finished the last 10 minutes at a lower heat. So don't freak out if this happens, just adjust and move on. So now you're at the stage where you're going to check the flavor. If you think it's not salty enough, go ahead and add some more fish sauce. So that's what BG decided to do with this batch. What's important to remember is that you'll need to simmer for another 3 minutes or so just to cook off the fish smell. Another variation that you can try out is to add more coconut milk if you want to try a thinner curry. Make sure you stir it all again, check it again, and when you're satisfied, you are done. Okay, friends, so really you have to tell me what you think of this recipe. We have been cooking this meal for pretty much the duration of our entire marriage. I'm not going to say it's the reason that we're still married, but you never know. Coming up, it's appetizer time. Learn how easy it is to make a bowl of homemade guacamole for your next get-together. And as always, thanks for joining us on our final freezer.
Let's do that again.
Hot.
Rock chop. Oh, stinky garlic. I know what you want.
Hot. Do it again.
You want a rock chop?
Yep, rock chop.
Rock chop. Woo, Nelly. Woo, doggy.